Xeg-Am. Xeg-Am 1050 KHZ is a class of clear-channel radio station in Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico. Its transmitter is in Guadalupe, Nuevo León. Xeg was known as a border blaster in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. It now uses the name La Ranchera de Monterrey and broadcasts a classic Ranchera radio format. Xeg is one of a handful of North American AM stations to broadcast at 100,000 watts around the clock. No commercial AM stations in the US or Canada run more than 50,000 watts. Xeg is non-directional at night but uses a directional antenna by day. History. Xeg received its concession on February 21, 1944. In 1950, the advertising time on Xeg came under the control of Harold Schwartz of Chicago, who also came to represent co-owned Zerb 690 AM in Tijuana/Rosarito, Baja California, the station made famous in the movie American Graffiti. During the mid and late 1970s, Xeg, then at 150 kW power, directional north, was known for its nighttime English-language R&B/soul music shows. For 4-6 hours per night, taped transcriptions from KGFJ Los Angeles disc jockeys made specifically for Xeg were audible throughout much of the southern, southwestern, and midwestern U.S. In the late 1970s, Xeg powerful nighttime signal attracted several U.S. ministries, including Billy James Hargis. But between programs, commercials occasionally offered suspicious-sounding medicines which promised to cure cancer and other illnesses. By 1982, Xeg was known as the Golden Gospel Giant. The Xeg mailing address announced on the air was antiquated, Post Office Box 28, St. Louis, 66, Missouri. This was more than a decade after ZIP codes were introduced across the U.S. As of November 2014, QSL reception report cards were still mailed out from St. Louis. AM radio waves are of a much lower acoustical quality than FM, but during hours of darkness the Earth's ionosphere drops sharply, typically from an altitude of roughly 600 miles to 30 miles, and the much longer wavelength of the AM transmissions causes them to be refracted off of that lowered layer so that they skip back to ground level several hundred miles away. Accordingly, that causes the border blaster stations like Xeg to be valuable as a commercial advertising medium far from their transmitters on the south side of the U.S. border. Depending on atmospheric conditions, multiple skips can result in acceptable nighttime AM reception as far north as Canada.